Good evening. Well, the weather here at Muirfield had one shock left up its sleeve for us today. We'd had the winds and we'd had the rain. Today we had the fog. Well, around these parts they called it a sea mist, but it was so thick in parts our cameras could hardly see through it. Well, among the early starters, no one came out of that murk to mount a serious challenge. Bernhard Langer of West Germany, he had a 72. He never seemed to get over that disastrous bunker yesterday. And Seve Ballesteros, the Spaniard, just had no magic and finished with a 75. Greg Norman, the defending champion, got a good reception at the 18th, but it was still a 75. And Sandy Lyle, the champion 2 years ago, well, he defiantly broke par with a 70. The first significant move among the overnight leaders was sadly a falling away, first of all from David Frost of South Africa, who had been sharing second place with Nick Faldo at 5 under. Tom Watson, 4 under par, and the winner here in 1980, well, he just couldn't get the putts in today. And Craig Stadler, 4 under overnight, well, perhaps he was still suffering from those 2 penalty shots earlier in the week. He just couldn't get it going either. It was left to Australia's Roger Davis, who started 2 under, to put some birdies together. He did at the 8th and the 9th, and now he was 4 under par. Meanwhile, Nick Faldo, starting 5 under, was playing par hole after par hole. And then, at the short 4th, Paul Azinger, the American, the overnight leader at 6 under, had a long putt for a birdie.
There you have it. 7 under par, Paul Azinger.
Payne Stewart at the 7th, short 7th, 185 yards. The wind helping and across from the right. Oh, okay, what a tremendous shot. That's absolutely stone dead. And Azinger. And that's how he was able to learn. Chance of a second consecutive birdie. He's making his break and he's thoroughly enjoying himself. 5 under, joins Nick Faldo in second place. Azinger for second consecutive birdie. The 5th green. Oh, he's got it, he's got it. He's now 3 ahead, 8 under par, and on a day when one is really trying to conserve one's score rather than look for birdies, those are almost worth double.
So Azinger goes to 8 under par, 3 ahead now of Payne Stewart, who's joined Nick Faldo in second place.
And the short 7th, 185 yards, wind helping, fraction from the right. No more than a 6 iron. Oh, there's bunkers, there's bunkers. And as always, when you go in the sand at Muirfield, that's going to present some pretty severe problems.
Azinger then back on the 6th hole with problems here. He really was unfortunate to run that far, but of course out of the heavy rough that he was in, no control at all. So his 3rd shot here on this par 4. He's done well there. Difficult to get the club back. He had to take it up very steeply, but he has that to save par.
The 7th green and the problems, hopefully only temporarily, of Nick Faldo. Oh, he's playing that beautifully. That has a chance. That was an exquisite shot.
Ahead on the 8th, Payne Stewart. This for a 5, for a 1 over par 5, and that's a double bogey then for Payne Stewart, who was tied with Nick Faldo. Goes to 3 under par now. Payne, and not a happy man at this point.
Well done. That's a great recovery. And his 7th straight par.
Back on the 6 and Azinger. This for a 4. Good try, very good try, but he'll drop one. But also, of course, Nick Faldo in danger of dropping one as well.
His third shot at the 8th. Oh, well done. Well done. That's his second consecutive shot from sand, which he's played with consummate skill. Great stuff. Roger Davis, his second to the 11th, a shortish par 4 of 385 yards, a blind drive over a steep bank. And a second shot for green, tilted up, and that could well slide back down the green to the pin. That's going to give him another chance for birdie. He's in third place all on his own.
Payne Stewart. Second shot there on the 9th. You can see the direction again of the wind. What a fine second shot it is for Payne Stewart. Sets him up for an eagle opportunity.
Roger Davis putting down the slope. Ooh, chances. And he joins Nick Faldo now, 5 under par. And his personal roller coaster on the way.
Payne Stewart putting for an eagle on the 9th. Great putt. Great putt. Showed a lot of tenacity there, coming back from a double bogey on the 8th. Got him right back in it, that one.
Nick Faldo, his second at the par 5 9th, the one that Payne Stewart has just eagled. Now, has he let that go a bit to the right? Not at all. That's a super. That's wonderful. And hold. And the wind perhaps getting up a touch. Very unlucky.
444 yard par 4. Something in the order of 190, 185 yards left. And there's nary a problem there. That's a fine second shot from the championship leader, Paul Azinger. Super shot.
Faldo from behind the 9th green, and one has to say that I think this championship now between the 4 at the top of the leaderboard, Azinger, Davis, Stewart and Nick Faldo.
Roll, ball, roll.
Keep going. Oh, it died on him. He actually got a bit of backspin there. And of course, you don't get a 4, don't get a birdie, you really feel you have wasted a great opportunity and in fact sort of dropped a shot.
And back on the 8th screen, championship leader, Paul Azinger. This to go 8 under, this to take a 3-shot lead again. Well, that was marvellous. I mean, he just played that hole so confidently, drilled the driver off the tee, wasn't having any of the iron. Beautiful second shot to the heart of the green and topped it off with a perfect putt.
So once again, Nick Faldo settles over this putt. Break from the right. This for a birdie 4. No, over borrowed, hit it a little too firm. Oh, well, and I'm afraid that really is the equivalent of a drop shot.
So the American reeling off the birdies and puts himself into a 3-stroke cushion again over the rest. And Azinger, looking at this moment, very hot stuff indeed. Davis, Stewart and Faldo share second place.
10th green. Payne Stewart needing this putt for his par. Golly, he hit a good putt too. He'll be disappointed in that. Right through the break. Drops one, goes to 4 under, leaving Faldo and Davis in second place. 10th. Now, the wind coming from his right to left. Swing rhythm still very good, just maybe a bit left. Bit left, is it? It's holding the green, hold on for him, and he just leaves him a long bunker shot. It's going to make life very difficult for Nick Faldo, but it was certainly the right distance.
And Faldo establishing himself as one of the great bunker players of the championship.
Roger Davis at the 15th, that's where his drive has ended up. Now he's got to be careful, make sure of getting out. Play for no worse than a 5. Every shot now as the closing holes come up. Very costly if you make mistakes.
There you are, he's got up and down in 2 from his 3 visits to the sand. 5 under par.
Coming up the 18th now, the popular, ever popular, Ben Crenshaw. One of the most popular American visitors ever to this country. And his figures for today didn't start too well. Dropped one at the first, and then 2 birdies. Dropped another one at starting home, but then 3 birdies since then. And let's hope he can finish with something good here.
Paul Isinger, second shot at the 10th hole. A hole that is 1 yard within being a 5, and he is in the bunker.
Roger Davis third at the 15th. And a good one. A escape with a par. And a very significant shot we almost saw there of Paul Isinger plunging into the bunker, which it looked as if he did at the 10th. We could see a big turnaround here in the next 15 or 20 minutes. Well, you can see there, he opened the face and made absolutely as certain as he could of just getting it out. He knows the position, he's 3 strokes ahead. Down at the 15th, Roger Davis has this putt for a par 4, having driven in the bunker. Oh, he's had 3 in a row now that he hasn't gone in, and he's 4 under.
And there's the confirmation of it. So Faldo in second place on his own. We saw Ben Crenshaw coming up the 18th, and in fact he sank that birdie putt and came in with a round of 68 today, which equaled his second round, and he finishes 3 under, so he's not going to be too far down the prize list.
Chance to turn. Oh, it was a good one. But that's a shot gone. A 5 in Isinger, and he goes to 7 under the card. Still a couple ahead, still ahead. '16th and Roger Davis. Only 3 holes to go. And Davis 4 under. And that doesn't look all that good. Isinger. And he pushed his tee shot away at the 11th on top of the little hill. Quite away from the green.
Superb.
Someone cried superb, and he's placed it exactly right. Conservatively, sensibly, to the front of the green. But getting down in 2 from there could present him with a few problems. Roger Davis, little pitch from the side of the 16th green. Each one of these strokes becoming very costly.
Short 13th, Nick Faldo playing up that hill into the wind. The bunkers you've seen just a few moments ago, 3 to the right, 2 to the left. That's about a number 6 iron Faldo has. Looks fairly happy with it. And so he should. Came in off the bank. Opportunity of his first birdie of the day. And the crowd sense it, and so does he.
He's just letting it get away from him over the last couple of holes. He hasn't got to lose his temper. He needs to finish 5-4 and still collect a good check. Here's a zinger, a zinger. Now, getting down in 2 from here isn't the easiest of tasks, I can tell you. Ian Botham's been here the last couple of days, Richie Benno, so many of our other friends from the world of sport, and commerce and business and the entertainment industry. Here he is. Poor old soul, he's got to be driven round now.
Ah, yes, so. Ah, yes, I come, you play cricket, huh? You come to our country, we show you.
Hello, Joe. Tokyo Joe. Oh, a racing pass. You see now, this is when the nerve ends start to tingle a bit. He's raced that 8 or 9 feet past.
The 13th, and Faldo with a putt for a 2, and one can almost sense there could be a change. If he can get this, and Azinger misses his just a few hundred yards away, well, the whole thing could just turn around.
In a hole! All right, Nick. Come on, Nick.
A good 3, 5 under.
Azinger, the 11th for a par. And for once, the magical putting stroke looked a little bit edgy, and that's 3 5s in a row, and he goes back to 6 under par. th green, Roger Davis, this for a birdie 4. And my word, he's had some chances over the last 4 or 5 holes. Now only 3 under. Oh, and now if only we'd had that putt there, or that putt there. Payne Stewart to save his par at the 16th. Oh, you always must get your 3s on the par 3s. And we go to the 18th and see Roger Davis's second shot. Birdied the last one, he's 4 under. Was that a bit heavy? Yes, I fancy it was. Hit the ground a bit. Oh yes, that was a weary one, a nervy one, an edgy one. Certainly at this moment not threatening to get a 3.
And quickly to Faldo, who would very much like to get a 3 on this par 4, the 15th. Just give us one birdie. And another one slides past. What a shame. He's had so many putts in the 12 to 15 foot range today, and none of them have actually touched the edge of the hole.
Davis 4 under. Third shot. Needs to grab. Good shot.
One shot behind then. Faldo with something in the order of at least a 3 iron here. Maintained his rhythm well. You could hear the shouts from behind. Shot. Fine tee shot. here on this 16th hole for Nick Faldo. He really has played very solidly.
Now Roger Davis is 4 under. He's got this for a par. This for a score of 280 for the 4 rounds. He's done it. Another very good week's work by this very pleasant professional from Australia, Roger Davis. I don't know whether that might, I don't think it'll, well, you never know. He's 4 under par, round of 69, 280, sets the target.
So there he is, Nick. Nick Faldo stays 5 under.
He's at the 15th. He's still a stroke ahead. Oh, that's nicely judged. A safe par. He can just stay that 1 ahead. That's all he needs to do. But that's more like the Payne Stewart we know and love. He's taken off the bulletproof trousers and now he shows us a bit of Bobby dazzling socks. 3 under par.
Oh, be right one time. Be the right stick.
Be the right stick, and it is the right stick. A fine shot from Payne Stewart, who once again has played very well in this championship. He had his chances, missed 2 or 3 shortish putts. On line. They like it. Are they right? They most certainly are. Lovely tee shot. Amazing. He's 1 stroke ahead and a short putt there. Shortish putt for a birdie.
17th and Nick Faldo's 3rd shot. Just see the top of the pin, maybe, if he's lucky from there. Ooh, gets caught up in the bank, comes down well at... Well, you make up your own mind. Probably very fortunate that it didn't hang in the bank.
There is a zinger at the 16th, putting for a birdie 2. The old nerve ends are getting a little bit tetchy. And why not? First, he's 27 years of age. His first championship. He's run 3 times in the US Tour, but my word, how well he's keeping it going here.
Back on the 17th green. That's what Nick Faldo has between him and the birdie. There you saw it swing.
Payne Stewart on the 18th for a birdie. No, doesn't finish in a blaze of glory. Tapped in for a par 4. 3 under. 281. A good championship, but not quite good enough. You think of all those little shots that slipped away. Tom Watson also had a reasonably good championship. Finishes at 1 under. 3 over today, Tom Watson.
Safely in then for Faldo. 17 in a row of them. Stays 5 under par, just 1 behind Paul Azinger.
And so it all narrows down to the last 2 groups. Azinger's still with a slender 1-stroke lead. Faldo cannot get himself a birdie. He's had the chances, but he can't find them. So Faldo comes to the final tee, 1 behind.
Oh, that picks up the tee rather smartly. I'll tell the truth, I don't see it. but he seemed to be happy with its direction. There it is it? Yes, beautiful drive from Faldo. 16th, David Frost's bunker shot. Oh, and you see what can happen. He's got to get it up sharp now. And up she comes. Oh, well, that's one way of getting a 3, isn't it? Well, I was only fooling around, really. Would you believe it? Would you believe it?
And there's Azinger on the 17th, just as you can see there, reached the bunker. That lip on that is, well, you can see by the lofted club he had, very open face. He was trying nothing fancy at all, just trying to get it out sideways.
So Nick Faldo with 195 yards to go, and all depends on this.
$17 pars so far. What a time to get a birdie. What a time. Oh, unlucky. Needed one more hop, and that could have gone very close, but a fine shot from Faldo.
We saw him hit a huge iron shot here yesterday, playing with Nick Faldo. He was deliberating whether or not he could get across the cross bunkers and flew it over there by miles. Can't get on from there. Fizzes it off low. That's safe enough, but as you can see there, well, a good 100-yard shot.
Well, a reception like that's enough to either frighten the daylights out of you or inspire you. He's had 17 holes so far, 17 pars, every hole in regulation. What a time to hole a putt for a birdie.
On the 17th, Azinger with his 4th shot. That was a good shot. That was a fine golf shot there. Pulls up and still with a chance, but the circumstances, my word. The circumstances.
Faldo for a birdie 3. What a time to roll a putt in. Over borrowed by a long way, and he's left himself one of them.
Well, I hope he's not as nervous as I am. Paul Azinger here on 17, Faldo there on the last. Five under par then for Azinger. And you all know what Faldo has now to do.
Well, now, this for a 4 for Faldo. Oh, well done. Well, the crowd at the 18th have seen the scoreboard change, and they know that Azinger has taken a 6, has dropped a stroke at the 17th. Now, Azinger must get a 4 at the last hole to tie and a 3 to win the championship. And that's as brave a short putt I've seen in a many day. Well done, Nick Faldo. 18 pars.
So what a climax as Azinger walks to the 18th tee.
He's level with Faldo. Well, we wish him well. A 4 to tie. Seems to have got it away nicely. There's Frost's ball, and there's Azinger in the middle of the fairway, some 15 yards or so behind. And that's what it's all about, the old claret jug. There's some very famous names on there. What to hit, what to hit. He's at least, Clive will tell us in a minute how far he is from the green. I don't know whether he can make it with an iron.
Well, in fact, Peter, he's 5 yards behind where Nick Faldo was. He's got 200 yards to go. I would think that's going to play about probably a 4-iron.
So he kept it left. And well, that's an ooh and an ah. And now the long walk up and the tumultuous applause for this young man who's given us a lot of pleasure over the last 4 days. Let's hope he can get a good bunker shot. He's pretty good out of the sand. Well, Paul Azinger's had a sensational year in the United States, but I doubt whether he's had a reception like that, or greater than that. An emotional moment.
He's got an awkward lie here, Peter. This is a very difficult bunker shot. He might not even be able to get a good stance so that he can even stand in the bunker. The ball's below his feet, and it's going to come out very fast. It'll be difficult for him to stop the ball in time. Horrid shot to have in this situation.
Short. That was one of the things we thought it would almost be impossible for him to do. See David Frost, though, first to putt. He's 2 under this for a birdie 3. And if he holds it, he will tie with Ben Crenshaw. Looks very nice indeed. But you better leave it a little bit more. And it was there. David Frost finishes with a 4. Round of 74, 2 under par, 282. And that'll bring him a nice prize. Very nice prize, in fact. And he's going to finish 5th. And here's a man who's still got a chance of winning this championship. That little 4.5-inch hole is going to alter one of these gentlemen's lives quite considerably in the next 5 or 6 seconds. Tails away. Faldo is the champion, and congratulations to him. And also congratulations and commiserations to Paul Azinger, who just fell at the final hurdle. Very good, but not quite good enough. Nick Faldo will be crowned the champion. That's 2 home winners in the last 3 years. And it shows once more that although Azinger had his chances, so many others had chances. But at the end of the week, there was just the one winner, Nick Faldo from England. So, the final look at the scoreboard. Nick Faldo wins the championship at 5 under. Davis and Azinger tied at 4 under. Ben Crenshaw came up well, and Payne Stewart again nearly tiptoeing in, so near and yet so far.
Nick Faldo, many happy returns for yesterday, but even more, you deserve congratulations for today. Well done.
Thank you so much. Oh, yeah.
Now, that little putt
Yeah.
on the 18th, the most crucial putt of your life. How difficult was it?
Well, I knew that if I underhit it, I'd miss it left, and if I blasted it, I'd miss it right. So that was a good start. But I had just about exactly the same putt on number 11, and I hit it just a little bit longer. It was just inside right side, and I hit that one perfect. So I just thought, well, just make sure you hit it hard enough. Don't just dolly it down there and and let it miss left or anything. So I managed to put a good stroke on it.
When you came in 5 under par, you'd finished, and you knew that Paul Azinger was coming up with the same score. What did you do during that time that he was coming up? Were you watching it on the box?
I went and sat inside. No, I didn't. I didn't watch. I went and sat inside one of the offices, and I sat in between the two TVs, so I couldn't see anything. And it was like old times. Natalie was there wanting tea and everything. So,
how did you know you'd won if you weren't watching anything?
No, I listened. Yeah, I was listening. I was only 25 yards away. I heard Peter say. I didn't realise he was 9 yards away with his putt, and I knew obviously if there was a cheer he'd hold it. So I was just waiting for the crowd to tell me.
And so Nick Faldo became the second British golfer in 3 years to win the Open, after Sandy Lyle's success at Sandwich in 1985. A tremendous British triumph as the climax of 4 days of extraordinary events.